As the Committee of the Regions celebrates its 20th anniversary, let us take a trip back in time and see the EPP Group's achievements to date. Since 1994, there have been 6 EPP Group presidents, each bringing a distinctive style and drive to representing regions and cities in Europe. During the first COR plenary session on the 7th of March 1994, the EPP Group began to form. Just months later, the late Georges Chabert was elected president. Despite the high expectations placed on the COR, the EPP Group found it relatively easy to work together, in spite of the national and cultural differences. During this period, the Amsterdam Treaty was signed, and the EPP Group led the COR in its first steps as a consultative body. His presidency was followed by that of Juan José Lucas Jiménez, who will be remembered for forging close relations with the EPP Group in the European Parliament. Under the chairmanship of Hans-Gert Pöttering, this relationship began to blossom, and it has gone from strength to strength. Claude de Grandrue became the first female president of the EPP Group in 2001. She led the group during its first external meeting in Santiago de Compostela. Even from the onset, external group meetings and seminars were the chance to debate how EU legislation affects cities and regions. They are also a chance to exchange best practices and experiences from the ground. Thanks to the proximity of local and regional authorities to citizens, these meetings attract politicians of the highest calibre, and here we see the Spanish Prime Minister, José María Aznar. During this meeting, the group adopted a declaration on the COR and the future of Europe, a similar topic to that which we are discussing here today. Claude de Grandrue also represented the EPP Group in the European Constitution, together with Georges Chabert. It held its first meeting on the 28th of February 2002. She was followed by Reinhold Bocklet, who became president of the EPP Group in 2002. It was during this period that the Protocol of Cooperation was signed by the European Commission. The EPP Group also continued to strengthen its ties with the members of the European Parliament. Indeed, the Nice Treaty strengthened the political mandate of the Committee of the Regions, and as such, the European Parliament and the European People's Party became clear allies for defending local and regional interests. Tono López Istúriz, pictured here, was present at the second external meeting of the group in Venice in 2002. Isidoro Gotardo is the longest-serving president of the EPP Group to date. He headed up the group between 2003 and 2010. Despite getting off to a good start, and a successful meeting in Brussels on cohesion policy, as well as a meeting dedicated to security in Athens, his presidency came at a challenging time for Europe. Following the European enlargement in 2004, the French rejected the European Constitution just 1 year later. This led to the EPP Group placing a greater emphasis on getting out into Europe's regions and debating on the ground. Subsequent meetings were held in Croatia, dedicated to cross-border cooperation, to Slovakia on growth and jobs, and Rome, which was dedicated to creating a better future for EU citizens. This took place in the framework of the EPP Congress. It was also during this time, in 2006, that the first Summer University for Local and Regional Media was held. This was an attempt to better communicate about the European Union, on the ground and with citizens. The event has proven to be very successful, and the group has welcomed more than 500 local and regional journalists to the Committee of the Regions over the past 8 years. External seminars and meetings continued to be an important part of the EPP Group and the Committee of the Regions' work throughout the mandate of President Gotardo. They not only allow members to travel to experience the conditions and situations of other local and regional politicians, but thematic topics can also be discussed, so that the EPP Group and the Committee of the Regions can take a position and adopt its resolutions. Migration was the topic in Madrid. Interfaith dialogue in Rome, which coincided with the 50th anniversary of the Treaty of Rome. Maritime policy was the topic for debate in Madeira. Isidoro Gotardo was also active at this time to promote the work of the Committee of the Regions to the other institutions and to build relations with the wider EPP family. This was particularly relevant given the ongoing negotiations surrounding the Lisbon Treaty, which entered into force in 2007. President of the COR, Peter Straub, joined him in this work. In October 2007, the group travelled to Malta, and discussions on the Mediterranean basin that took place here led to the creation of ALEM. Cultural and natural heritage was the topic in Katerini. And alongside the European elections in 2009, the EPP Group held a seminar in Trieste. Here the aim was to play an active role in building up a Europe of the citizens. Current President Michael Schneider brings us up to the present day. Under his guidance, the EPP Group has become even more ambitious than ever. The EPP Group in the Committee of the Regions is regularly invited to take part in meetings of the European Parliament, and it actively plays a role in the working groups of the EPP. External group seminars and meetings take place annually, with high-level speakers from local, national and EU levels. These have included meetings in Murcia, dedicated to creating a stronger economy. In Poznan, which focused on territorial disparities and social exclusion as part of the group's work to promote the role of local and regional authorities within the Europe 2020 strategy. Helsinki, on the digital agenda and pioneering regions. Gödele, which was dedicated to promoting sport and education. Maribor, where the focus was on finding a way towards resource-efficient Europe and a Europe of independent energy resources. The group went to Faro with its resolution on sustainable tourism as a driver for economic growth and job creation, and to Sofia, where the group looked at the urban dimension of cohesion policy. In Dublin, the focus was on youth unemployment and the possibility of entrepreneurship as a means to get young people back into the job market. And the Kaunas Group seminar was an occasion to return to the challenging topic of European energy security. These meetings are complemented by the yearly seminar at Open Days, the study visit for students, and many smaller events and bilateral contacts with MEPs and the European People's Party that are held in Brussels. The most recent event, the EPP Summit of Regional and Local Politicians in Poznan, clearly demonstrates the relevance of EU regions and cities in policy making, as well as the close relationships that have been formed with the EPP. Hosted by Marek Wozniak, this was an unprecedented event. The panel was made up of experienced and high-level speakers from local, regional, national and European levels. Not only was it a chance to underline the importance of involving local and regional authorities in EU decision-making, it was also an opportunity to campaign alongside Jean-Claude Juncker, the EPP candidate for President of the European Commission. The Poznan Manifesto, which was adopted, lays out the group's vision for a better delivery of growth and jobs in Europe's regions and cities. The presidents of the committee from the EPP Group have also played an important role in the development of the Committee of the Regions over the past 20 years. On this anniversary, we pay tribute to Jacques Blanc, Jos Chabert, Peter Straub, Luc van den Brander, Ramon Luis Valcarcel-Siso, and our future president, Michel Lebrun. But where should the EPP Group in the Committee of the Regions go next? That is up to you.